I need you to stop everything right now and listen, because what I am about to tell you will shake the very foundation of how you see your life. You have just completed something that only 1 in 10,000 souls ever accomplish. In the last 90 days, you walked through 9 impossible trials, and you did not break, not once. And I need you to understand the magnitude of this moment, because what happens next will be unlike anything you have experienced before. This is not motivation. This is not encouragement. This is recognition of a shift that has already taken place within you, whether you feel it yet or not. You stood in the fire, and you came out refined, and now everything changes. If this is resonating deep in your spirit, go ahead and hit that like button, because this message was meant specifically for you. Every single one of those 9 trials was designed with precision. Nothing was random, nothing was punishment. The first trial came as rejection when doors slammed in your face, and you had every reason to believe you were not good enough. Yet something inside you refused to accept that verdict. The second arrived as financial pressure when the numbers did not add up, and panic tried to take over. But you kept moving anyway. The third showed up as betrayal from someone close, someone you trusted completely. And instead of closing your heart forever, you chose to heal and stay open. The fourth was the silence, the deafening quiet, when your prayers seemed to vanish into emptiness, and still you kept talking to me. You passed each one, not because you were perfect, not because you had all the answers, but because you refused to give up. And that refusal is what caught my attention. Let me tell you about the 5th trial, because this one nearly broke you. It was the season of delay when everything you worked for seemed frozen in time. Opportunities that should have opened stayed locked. Progress that should have happened stalled completely, and you watched others move forward while you stood still. But here is what you did not know. That delay was not denial. It was preparation. You were being positioned for something so specific that if it had come earlier, you would not have been ready to hold it. The 6th trial tested your integrity when no one was watching. You had chances to cut corners, to compromise, to take the easier path that everyone else was taking, and you said no. You chose the harder road because something in you knew that character matters more than convenience. That choice marked you differently. The 7th trial brought isolation so deep that even surrounded by people, you felt completely alone. You could not explain what you were going through because no one around you understood. They had not walked your path. They had not seen what you had seen. And in that loneliness, you had to decide whether to conform or to stand firm in what you knew to be true. You stood firm, type 888, if you believe in divine timing. The 8th trial stripped away your comfort when things you relied on suddenly disappeared. Relationships shifted. Situations changed. Stability you thought was permanent proved temporary. And in that shaking, you discovered something powerful. You discovered that your foundation was not built on what you could see. It was built on something much deeper, something that could not be taken away. The 9th and final trial was the test of surrender. This was the moment when you had to let go of control completely, when you had to release your grip on how you thought things should unfold, and trust that I had a better plan. Everything in you wanted to force solutions, to make things happen, to take matters into your own hands. But you released. You let go. And that surrender is what brought you across the finish line. Now hear me clearly. What I am about to release into your life is directly connected to what you just walked through. The level of breakthrough coming your way matches the depth of trial you endured. This is how it works. The greater the pressure, the more valuable the transformation. And you were not under random pressure. You were being compressed into a diamond. These next 90 days will not look like the last 90. You are entering a season where what was delayed begins to move, where what was blocked begins to open, where what was impossible becomes suddenly within reach. I am not saying everything happens overnight. I am saying the momentum has shifted. You will start noticing signs that things are different. Conversations that change direction unexpectedly, messages that arrive at exactly the right time, opportunities that appear out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations that you have crossed into new territory. Some people will not understand the shift happening in you. They will ask what changed. They will sense something different, but not be able to name it. Do not try to explain it to everyone. Not everyone is meant to understand. Your job is simply to walk in this new authority with humility and confidence, knowing that you earned this position through your faithfulness. If you are feeling this in your core, leave a comment saying, "I receive it," and watch what happens next. There will be relationships that realign during this season. Some people who were distant will suddenly draw closer. Others who were close will naturally drift away. Do not fight either movement. This is divine orchestration. I am making space for the right connections and removing what no longer serves your purpose. Every exit is making room for an entrance. Every ending is creating space for a new beginning. Trust this process completely. You will also notice a sharpening of your discernment. Things that used to confuse you will become clear. Decisions that used to paralyze you will become simple. You will know what to say yes to and what to decline, not through overthinking, but through an inner knowing that rises up naturally. This clarity is one of the gifts that comes from walking through what you just walked through. Nothing sharpens vision like passing through fire. Your capacity has expanded in ways you cannot fully measure yet. What used to overwhelm you will now feel manageable. What used to intimidate you will now seem approachable. Responsibilities that would have crushed the old version of you will rest lightly on the new version because you are not who you were 90 days ago. You have been upgraded internally, and soon the external will begin to reflect that upgrade. Do not go back to old patterns of thinking. Do not slip into old habits of doubt. When fear whispers that this is too good to be true, remind yourself of what you already survived. If you made it through 9 trials, you can walk confidently through 9 blessings. You are ready for what is coming, more ready than you realize. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The number 9 is not arbitrary. In the spiritual realm, 9 represents completion, finality, and divine fulfillment. It is the number that signals the end of one era and the beginning of another. You finishing 9 trials in 90 days is a clear indication that a major chapter of your life has concluded. What comes next is not a continuation of what was. It is something entirely new. But here is the truth about new beginnings. They require you to think differently, to move differently, to believe differently. You cannot carry old mindsets into new seasons and expect them to work. The strategies that got you through the trials are not the same strategies needed for the blessings. In trials you survive, in blessings you steward, and stewardship requires wisdom, discipline, and intentionality. Have you discovered the ancient practice that neuroscientists are now confirming can completely rewire your financial reality? Recent studies from top research institutions have revealed that a simple 9-minute morning ritual can activate wealth frequencies in your brain that most people never access. Thousands of everyday people are now reporting debt disappearing, unexpected income arriving, and opportunities materializing seemingly out of thin air. But this information is being suppressed and could be removed from public access at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments now before it is gone forever. You are about to step into a level of influence that will require you to guard your peace fiercely. More people will want your time, your energy, your attention. More voices will offer opinions about what you should do next. And in the middle of all that noise, you must learn to hear my voice above everything else. The ability to tune out distraction and tune into divine direction will be one of your most critical skills moving forward. Practice it daily, protect it intentionally. Your peace is not a luxury, it is a necessity. There is also something important you need to understand about increase. When blessings multiply, so does responsibility. When doors open, so does accountability. With every new level comes new expectations, new standards, new requirements. This is not meant to scare you, this is meant to prepare you. You cannot treat increase carelessly. It must be handled with respect and gratitude, knowing that what has been given can also be taken away if it is not valued properly. Do not let success make you forget where you came from. Do not let blessing make you lose sight of who brought you through. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay connected to the source. Arrogance will close doors faster than anything.